Hello everyone. So yeah, thank you very much for the introduction. Thanks for having me. So yeah, as they said, Charlie from Salve, we guide patients through life-changing treatment and help the clinics and hospitals that provide those services run more efficiently. So the problem that we're trying to solve is that patients going through these treatments typically are overwhelmed with the information that they've provided by their doctor, the nursing team, the administrators, but also what they find online as well. And this confusion, along with the stress and anxiety of going through the process, can actually cause quite a high number of non-urgent queries coming into the clinic. So that's calls, texts, emails, faxes even. They're coming into the admin and nursing teams, and they're actually causing a massive admin overhead. So our solution then is both a patient mobile app and also a clinic web-based dashboard. Both of those are cloud-based, and both are synced to the in-house or incumbent EHR software, so the electronic health record that's used by the clinic. So that allows us to provide automated drug reminders, appointment reminders, and also secure WhatsApp-like chat through to their caregiver. On the clinic side, we provide, again, a WhatsApp web-like chat feature, and we also provide a compliance monitoring tool so that the nursing team or admin team can have a look and see if anyone's dropping off and intervene if necessary. We also provide a content management system for the clinics or hospitals to modify any of the content within the app and tailor it essentially to their best practices. So at the moment we're focused in the fertility industry, so that's women going through IVF or similar treatments. We have built... That's all right, that's my voice. glad it's working, that's all right.
Definitely live.
Good. So as I said, currently focused on the fertility industry. We have built Salve to work across any secondary care setting. In terms of the kind of main highlights of our traction, we've got one EHR integration. They cover about 10% of the global IVF market. That's 300 clinics in 28 countries, so that's an integration there. And we're just in the next 3 weeks about to launch a pilot with 2 of those clinics. So it's a paid pilot, we're very excited about it. Been quite busy recently. And then bottom left, we've got another EHR that we're hoping to work with, that's Capture Fertility, and they're embedded in the NHS, so we're hoping to work with those guys towards the end of the year. The next one's a little bit of a different one. We had a large pharmaceutical company approach us about 3 to 4 weeks ago with the idea that they wanted what we had, and they opened acquisition discussions, and we haven't even launched yet, so it was a bit odd. So it's good validation, a bit flattering, but we're not really sure what to do. So team, myself, Ellen and Alex, we're all technologists, we're not clinical, but we have a really strong advisory board that we lean on for any domain expertise that we require. Alex has had 2 kids via IVF, so he's got a really nice bit of insight when he's making build decisions. So what we're looking for today is essentially guidance from any clinicians that they think that Salve might work in their area of expertise, not just fertility. We're also open to speaking to any EHR vendor organisations, so if anyone has any contacts in those, it'd be very interesting to speak to you. And then lastly, as I mentioned, we've got this conundrum with large pharma. Anyone who's gone through that process before would be more than happy to chat to you, any watch outs, etc. It's a bit of a David and Goliath situation at the moment, so we're not sure how to handle it. So yeah, thank you very much for listening. Charlie from Salve.
Do we have any questions for Charlie? Hopefully we do. Question again? Dr. Tyler,
When you say WhatsApp-like, is it actually WhatsApp or WhatsApp-like?
It's not. It's proprietary. We've built it ourselves. Yeah.
And how is the integration? What platform? It's a little technical question. Is it a software platform, or is it actually different platforms merged on a simple API?
So it's all our software, and then when we integrate with the EHRs, we hit their API and get the data out. So essentially, for those non-technical people, it means that the clinical staff input data in the clinic, and then it just appears on the patient's phone. So the patient never has to update or input any information to remind them when to take their drugs. So it's quite useful that it's automated, essentially. So it's all just hitting an API, basically, to answer your question. Yeah.
So regarding the information that the patients can see or they have access to, is configurable, or is chosen by the hospital for the clinics, or it's everything?
So at the moment we provide automated drug reminders, automated appointment reminders, and then information around those too. So in the fertility space, a woman might be injecting 5 times a day and having to mix those drugs. So we provide guidance videos on how to do that. And that can be modified using the CMS on the clinic dashboard. So for a different clinic might have different drugs, and they can tailor that content themselves.
So at the same time, it also could be used at any other specialty
Pretty much,
or
yeah. The
disease that you can have?
reason we say that we're focused, as I said, the reason we're focused on fertility at the moment is because we've got a network there, but it can be replicated at any secondary care setting is where we're looking, essentially.
Okay.
Can I ask a follow-on question?
Yeah.
I'll just use your mic. So you said it could be replicated in any other secondary care setting. Have you got an idea about what, may say, your next 3 areas might be that you're looking into?
Yeah, I think I might have missed, did I miss off the first one? I mean, we want to talk to clinicians, essentially, to see where they think this might be useful for their teams, essentially. We think that oncology would be really useful just because of the number of drugs that people have to take. But really, we're kind of open to talking to people and listening to them. Well, yeah, I mean, there are other companies that are doing this in the primary care space and monitoring chronic diseases. But yeah, we want to just nail the kind of where there's a defined treatment regimen, essentially, and defined pathway.
Can we just go back to here first, just because the mic can go Emily.
I would like to ask a question for the business part. So what's your revenue stream?
Sure. Yeah, we're a SaaS-based business model. We actually charge the clinics on a monthly subscription basis. So the patient doesn't pay for anything. It's all B2B between us and the clinics.
Speak very loud.
It's just for the live stream, it's actually not.
How about the data? The data. Do you have any ownership of it, or
Yeah.
And the safety of it? The EHR
Sure.
data.
Sure.
Is very
Yeah. Well, I mean,
sensitive item.
we've been going about 18 months, and a large part of that has been making sure that we're compliant and making sure that the data that we pass around is secure. Ultimately, the patient signs consent that we can access it, but they own the data. The patient owns their own healthcare data. It's in the palm of their hand, essentially. But yeah, we've spent a lot of money with legals to try and get to a point now where we are compliant and we're good to go. Yeah, so yeah, the way the product works at the moment is we anonymize it and pseudonymize it, and then it can be passed on to pharma and also to research institutions, essentially.
Any other questions for Charlie? Yeah, great. One in the back. I can do a run, or we can do a clinical flashback. Sorry. Are there any other questions after this one? Just so we know who's at the back next. No. Okay. So we'll take this as the last question, and we'll move on. Fantastic.
So most of the oncology drugs, the ones that have a high cost, they happen in the clinic. They don't happen at home. These are mostly supportive. Just to answer the question about the oncology.
Sure.
And also, I mean, there are apps now that, they act as reminders of medication. So during your presentation, I thought, oh, this enables live chat with a clinician or a nurse,
Yeah.
rather than being just a reminder of medication. Is this actually
So,
what it's
I mean,
going?
there's dual functionality there in that, yes, it's a messaging system. It removes some of the stress and anxiety for the patient being able to talk to the hospital. But also, by integrating with the EHR, the patient doesn't have to ever remind themselves when to take their medication or remind themselves when they've got an appointment. So it's the automated feature that's actually different to the other drug reminder and appointment reminder apps that are out there.
I mean, to that, I will add that a lot of times in the clinic, changes that happen to the patient that don't go necessarily into the EPR. They're not recorded there.
Okay.
They only go into
So
some
that's similar in
paperwork.
fertility. It's something that they're
So
actually
if you're looking at NHS Trust to work with, they need to be fully automated in every aspect for you to work with them.
Yeah, so something that's actually interesting on the fertility end, we're actually driving data integrity on the clinic end by them bringing on our service. So it's actually helps them make sure that they're putting everything into the EPR.
And one final just comment regarding the live chat functionality. I think the moment you're going to introduce more workload for the clinic, that's when your product is going to probably see the door.
Yeah, exactly. So there's definitely a tipping point. It's about channeling all of the conversations through one
So
channel.
yes, because in a way, a clinic appointment acts exactly like that to kind of stop that access as soon as you release that access.
Right. Cool. Thank you very much, James.